In this presentation, I want to discuss how it's possible to crash EasyAs with these mail settings. Now, it is possible for the software to crash itself and for it to exit the program with these mail settings if they're doubled up on themselves. And I'm going to explain what's going on. We see this login password area here. All these settings are correct for, everything here is actually correct for logging in to Gmail on this particular computer. This login password area, when you enter your password, if say you entered your password, I'm going to do a test here, I'm going to show you. Let's say the password was 1234. Right, say that was your password and you clicked OK, you'll notice that it changes to a set of numbers. It hides the password. We know that it's got an error here because it's telling us that's not the right password. We know that's not the right password. It changes this to a mathematical equation, and that's how it hides the password from users. So anyone using your program can't see what your login password is for any of your accounts. It could be Gmail, it could be any account in actual fact, it could be any other account that you're using or service provider. The problem exists is that occasionally when you're jumping in here, let's say you're fiddling with the settings and you just can't get the email to work with your ISP or something's not correct and you keep coming up with an error because it's not using the username or password or there's a server setting error. Something I'll point out before I begin, one of the most common errors I see occurring is is instead of going SMTP, a lot of people just go SMPT. It seems to flow off the tongue easier, and they don't realize they're actually getting that back to front. It's actually a common fault, so just remember that. SMTP is actually written here anyway. What's happening is this. This long number here, this went from 1234 to a big, long set of numbers. Now, when you're jumping in and out of these mail settings, occasionally the emailer will go, is that a new password? And it picks up that new, not long thing as if you just typed in as a password. And it then tries to change that to an even bigger set of digits. And I'm going to show you that it's going to do that. If it tries to change that now, see it's changed it to a long set of digits. The problem is it can keep doing that and keep doing that each time you go back in here trying to adjust these settings. If the system keeps thinking you're entering new passwords, it will keep doing it and keep doing it until it gets to a number that's so long that it can't handle and it just falls over. And I'm going to make it do it. I'm going to show you. Now what you will notice is a screen's going to pop up, and it's not actually going to be the EasyAs screen. It's going to be a screen comes from Total Access Emailer. At EasyAs, we didn't reinvent the wheel. There was no point in spending tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars that we didn't have to enable EasyAs to send emails. If you have a look around, probably over 70 to 80% of programs on the market that use email facilities or that has an email component to them all buy third-party code, which is exactly what EasyAs have done. They've gone out and sourced the best, most reliable code on the market, and they've paid for it. And they've included that code in the program so as that to give you the facility of emailing, if that's what you want to do. Now, the problem is when there's a major crash, it brings up a screen that says Total Access Emailer. You'll notice when it crashes, this particular screen is going to come up, and that's fine. For now, that's great. Expect it when you see that come up, 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, it's coming up because this is incorrect. And this has doubled itself or tripled itself or quadrupled itself up. So the best thing you should be doing, if you're trying to get this to work with your ISP and you can't get the settings right, then you need to retype your password in each time so that when it changes, it's not doubling up on itself. But as I said, it doesn't happen all the time. You can probably get away with it 10 times in a row and it'll not be a problem. But all of a sudden, it'll be a problem. And I think this should be a problem now. So I'm going to click OK and see if it crashes. I'm hoping it does crash. No, it didn't crash again. Oh, I'm just going to keep doing this until it crashes. Oh, there we are, crashed. But you'll have a look here. It even says the field is too small to accept an amount of data you attempted to try to insert. and it says here set passwords, and that's normally what it is. Now you see it's total access emailer. They want you to view an error file. It means nothing. None of this means anything. You can look at this, but it doesn't mean anything. You can email them. They're not going to help you because it's a problem with their emailer doubling up on the login password. So if you see that come up, what's going to happen then is if you try to close this down, it's going to close the whole program. Okay, so what you simply got to do then is you've got to jump back into the program. You jump back into the program and reset your settings. So how do we get around all this issue? If you've got to continually go back in there, you have to you have to type in your password again. However, it's not a problem. Once you've set these settings up, you don't have to keep going back in there, guys. There's no reason to ever go back in here once you've set your settings up. However, if for some reason something's not right, and like being human, we go, oh, the email is not working, it's not sending mail. As easy as lost its settings or something. And being human, you'll go back in here and you click mail, and this will come up. And you go, oh no, the settings are in there. How come it's not working? Don't click the OK button. If you want to jump in here to see if the settings are there, click cancel. That'll stop it from resaving anything. So click in mail. If the settings are there, click cancel, and that'll get around it doubling up all the time. So if you're coming in here and you go to send mail and it's not working, and you think, oh, I'm connected to the internet, why aren't I working? And you click mail, and you go, oh, the settings are there. Click cancel so it doesn't try to double up. And that way you're not seeing this problem of that major error occurring. Because if the major error does occur, you're going to have to come back in and you're going to have to re-enter your password anyway and re-click save because it probably won't be working. Okay, I hope I explained myself because this was an issue and I didn't know how to explain it. And we were tempted not to worry about it because we don't see it very often. However, because we know the fault's there, someone's going to see it. And someone's going to have it. And you're going to go, oh no, what's going on? And I wanted to point it out. Don't be alarmed. You've done nothing wrong. There's nothing anyone's done wrong. It's just a matter of dealing with the software. So jump in there, re-enter your password again, click OK, and you should be fine. And like I said, hopefully if you enter the information correctly the first time, everything's entered correctly, and you click OK the first time, hey presto, and this box disappears, you know your settings are correct, you should be able to send mail, and you should never have to go back in there ever again. So this will never be a problem. But as we said in the previous email, in the previous video, when you get your settings right, send yourself an email. The only way to test that everything's working is send yourself an email. If you get an email into your inbox, you know it worked.